Hello friends, you are welcome again the Listening Empire. July 20th, 1969 was a very special day in human history. Why? Because as a human species, we achieved a very special thing. At that time, we achieved such a thing, on which whole world had eyes. What was that achievement? This was the day, two humans, by leaving Earth, went to Moon. They placed their feet on Moon. Astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, when landed on Moon, and were trying to open the gate of lunar module, there was extreme pressure, due to which they were facing problems in opening the doors. But finally the door opened. In the history, Neil Armstrong was the first person who put his feet on Moon. Do you know how this mission was made possible? There was a reason behind it: war, which was going on between America and Soviet Union. At that time, a Cold War was going on between both countries. That who will go into space first? And you can say, Soviet Union got first win when they launched their first artificial satellite, Sputnik. And it was able to become the first country of the world, which established its narrative in space. 1958, America also launched its first satellite, put into space. And after 3 years, in 1961, Soviet astronaut became the first astronaut, Yuri Gagarin, who entered the space by leaving the Earth orbit. And after a week, U.S. President John F. Kennedy said by writing a message to his vice president, "Why are we behind in space program? What's the thing which is stopping us? We also have good equipments, have good and intelligent people. We also should do something big, and let's put man on Moon." And then he said, "Man shall put his foot on Moon, and our country will be the first country in doing so." After that, May 25, 1961, he gave his famous speech, where he publicly announced that we are taking a big mission, and we will take man on the Moon. And not just that, we will bring them back also. How much difficult was this thing? We don't realize it many times. You know, the mobile phone we are using is 1 million times powerful, compared to that computer and technology, which was available at that time. Those computers were extremely slow and had basic functionality. That computer had 32,768 bits of RAM. While if we talk about 4 gigabytes RAM, it's equals to 32,768 bits of RAM. 72 kilobytes ROM, which is nothing as compared to today. But still, with the help of this technology, with this RAM and ROM, and by doing many things, they took humans to the Moon, and made this mission successful. Do you know the reason behind it? How were they able to do this? Because one person thought big. John F. Kennedy said this to Vice President, that we should think big. What is stopping us to think big? And this is the important lesson. Unless we think big, we won't be able to do those things. David Schwartz, the author of The Magic of Think Big, says, "The size of your bank account is directly related to your thinking. The big you can think, the big you can achieve." And it has been proved by many people in history. So, it's very important to think big to do great things. But how can you think big? Author answers to this. I am going to share 5 lessons of this book, which if you apply in your life, these things will help you to think big. Thinking big makes it possible. Let's start with first lesson. There was a person named Ben Schwartz who did an exercise in his class. He asked his students a question. Think how we can eradicate this present system. You guys start thinking. As soon as he asked this question, students got confused. They started arguing that it can't happen, it's not possible. Maximum people thought that it can't be possible. But then he asked students to be calm. He said, at least start thinking. Start flowing creative ideas of your brain. Remember, our mind is like a parachute. It won't open unless we jump, unless we use it, unless we open it. Then students started thinking gradually. They came with many great ideas by collaborating with each other, which were practical in actuality. You know, there is a country where there is no prison. And along with it, old prisons are being closed. Because they made a revolutionary system. That country is Netherlands. If you search, you'll come to know. Similarly, when Elon Musk was starting his company SpaceX, everyone used to call him mad. Because at that time, there were hardly any private company to space related. There were only government organizations like NASA, which used to launch big projects like satellites. But Elon Musk stayed persistent. And today you know, SpaceX has become a great reality. So, author says this in first lesson. Stretch your mind to think big. It doesn't mean that you start having big dreams from now. Start having dreams like Elon Musk. No. You can dream big according to your life also. Such as, for a rickshaw driver, getting his son the best education is also a big dream. Dream of making a bungalow instead of buying a flat. This is also great. So, according to your life, Start thinking big according to your circumstances. And then Apple this second lesson. Progress happens step by step. Author gives us an example of Eric Severade. There was an author named Eric Severade. He was also a member of Reader Digest. A very bad accident had happened to them in World War II, where such situations had came, that he had to jump from chopper with his friends, in forest. That forest was in between Myanmar and India border. As soon as they jumped he knew that rescue teams can take weeks to reach them. Till then they can die also. So, they took a big decision. They decided that, for now, August rain is going on, and summer also. But still they will do a track of 140 miles, which they should do, if they have to increase their chances of survival. This thing was very difficult for them. Why? Because on the first day, they came to know, completing 140 miles will be very difficult. They didn't have enough food and anything. Many were wounded too, but still they stared doing it. You know, what they were used to do. They just used to keep in mind. For now, I'll go from this tree to that tree. When they reached to that tree, they used to say, I'll go from this tree to that rock. Or, I'll walk for just a mile. And moving forward like this slowly, doing 1 mile and stopping, they completed the journey of 100 miles. And there is a quote related to this. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Elon Musk when thought about SpaceX, at starting he didn't think that, and he was not thinking that they will make homes on Mars. No. He thought, at least they will go on Mars, and will grow plants on Mars, and will make chambers, to take a good picture. And moving forward, such a time came, NASA has started giving them big contracts. Due to which, many things seems possible now, which were impossible before. Today, the net valuation of SpaceX is more than $127 billions. Similarly, Tesla people didn't think on first day that they will make such cars, which everyone can afford. No. Yes, it may be in their vision. But their small goals were to make luxury cars first. First, let's serve rich people first, earn profit, and then we'll make such cars, which can become affordable. Second step is, have vision. But to complete that big vision, start taking small steps. Set small goals, and after taking such small actions, you complete them. After that, you have to understand lesson number 3. Believe you can do big things. Imagine, someone catches you, and locks you in a box, and says to you, no matter how much you try, you won't be able to come out of this box. To survive, I'll keep giving you food. We'll keep giving everything which is important for survival. But you can't come out of this box. If you believe that person that you can't come out of that box, then what will happen? You'll try a little or maybe you won't try. And will give up. Because you'll think that life is going on. But instead of believing that person, you start believing that you also can get out of that box. You just have to do something innovative. If you start thinking like this, maybe you start breaking that box, or start asking questions from those persons, start checking the width of walls, start negotiating with that person. Only after that you will do something, which will increase your probability to come out. Now, you tell, which approach is better? Sitting and saying that nothing great can be done, or at least trying that great things can be done and can get out of the box. Obviously, second option is better. Trying is important. Believing in ourselves is important that we can do great things. Because when we'll believe, we'll be able to take actions. And when we'll take action, only then our dreams will become reality. And this thing happen with many people. We're not able to believe that we also can do that thing. Can we also become YouTubers? Can we also become creators? Can we also earn money online? Can we also create business and become millionaires and billionaires? It just can't be done for us. But author says, gradually, you start believing that you can do such things. Then many impossible things will become possible. Trust me, this thing has also happened with me also. First, I also used to think, becoming YouTuber and earning money online. Only special people can do this. A general person like me, can't do this. But trust me, when I started believing that I also can do it, then I started taking action. And from there, my whole life started changing. So, the third important lesson is, believe on yourself. And along with this, focus on this fourth lesson. You'll understand well through a story. Network. There is a rabbit who is eating carrot while sitting in forest. Then a fox comes there, and asks him, aren't you afraid that you're eating carrots so freely? Anyone can kill you easily. Wait, let me kill you. As soon as fox say this, the rabbit says to him, you can't kill me, you don't have such power. And if you have power, come with me in that cave. We'll fight there. And let's see, who wins. And that fox gets angry. And he thinks, how can such a small rabbit challenge me? And goes with him in that cave. After some time, that rabbit comes with that fox's bones. After which that rabbit starts eating carrot, sitting in forest. Then hyena comes there. And then he also says the same thing to the rabbit. And says, let me eat you. Again, rabbit says to him, see, you think you can kill me but you can't kill me. If you have power, come in that cave with me. And fight there. I'll make you lose. That hyena also goes there in confidence. After some time, that rabbit comes with that hyena's bones. While all this is going on, there is one rabbit also there. Who is watching all these things? He asks that rabbit, how are you able to do this? Those animals who can kill you easily, how are you able to kill them in cave? The rabbit tell him, the thing is that a lion is hiding in that cave. Lion has cracked a deal. Lion knows that I don't have that much meat to fill his stomach. So, I've cracked a deal with him. I will bring him hunting. And in return, he'll protect me. Rabbit focused on two things. First is smart work and other one is network. He is small animal but he befriended such an animal. Who was very powerful. And this is the lesson no fourth. If you keep standing on giant's shoulders, you'll be able to see far away. Basically, if you start living with great people, and network with them, this thing will make you so powerful. Now, how can you build a network? If you do these 7 things well, you'll become likable and do networking well. What are those 7 things? First one is remember people's name. Introduce yourself to right people. Mostly people do hesitate while introducing themselves. But you shouldn't do this. Next is, appreciate and compliment people genuinely. Fourth, dress well. Fifth, be a good listener. Instead of speaking, learn listening. Sixth, maintain eye contact. And seventh, talk about common interest. Start talking about common similarities. You'll have fights if you talk about differences, but if you talk on similarities, likability will increase. Do all these things, but along with them, remember this 5th lesson also. Do more, not less. Year 1999 was a very bad year for Amitabh Bachchan. Everything was happening was bad with him. His multiple companies had gone bankrupt. His bank account went almost zero. He didn't understand what he should do. Dhirubhai Ambani came to know about this. Then he told Anil and Mukesh Ambani that this person is very tensed. You should help him by giving money. He said, we should give them loans to pay off his loans and debt. But when he put this offer in front of Amitabh Ji, he politely refused to take that money. After which, he started working again, without giving up. And guess what? After this he did KBC. And it became a big hit. After which, in a few years, he paid off his loans. This thing was quite impressive. So, Dhirubhai Ambani invited him to the party, where he was sitting with many experts of finance world. He called Amitabh in and said in front of all, that this kid had fallen. But he stood again by working hard. And we should be like this. When Amitabh Bachchan listened this, his eyes watered. And this is true. And you see, despite being 80 years old, is very hard working. He always keeps working, keep doing something. He always keeps testing himself. And keeps changing himself according to the time. He doesn't keep sitting. If he wanted, like many others, he would think that I only want to be a hero. No, but he guessed. His time is moving forward. He should try new roles and new things, which he kept doing. He never stopped. He always kept taking action. This thing is very important. Always doing something. People walking on the road also talk big things. But real ones are those who take actions. And produce results by taking actions. And this thing is very important. No matter how big you think. No matter how big plans you make. Unless you take actions. Unless you take moments, till then you won't be able to do anything. So, it's important that you take actions. Instead of doing time pass, start working on your life. And this is the last lesson, which is quite important. First lesson is, stretch your mind to think bigger. Second, progress happens step by step. Third, believe you can do big things. Fourth, build a good network. Fifth, do always more, not less. You have to do this by thinking well. You don't have to do it blindly. You should take action wisely according to time. These were some important things from book, The Magic of Thinking Big. If you want to learn these summaries for free, subscribe and press the bell icon. Thank you. I hope you like a video.